Hello everyone, and welcome to this class. We will be learning how to play Sudoku, the basic rules and strategies that we will be needing to successfully play this game. Now, what is Sudoku? Sudoku is a logic-based game that involves the correct placement of numbers 1 through 9 using logic. But we are not limited to the use of numbers 1 through 9. This simply means that Sudoku is not math. Sudoku is simply a logic-based game. Now, as you can see in the picture displayed on the screen, you can see that we've got different pictures of animals. Now, to play this game, we'll have 9 different pictures of animals, and that we'll use each of these animal pictures to place on the different cells to help us play this game. We can also use letters, we can also use shapes, as you can see on the screen. So that simply tells us that Sudoku is not math. But we actually prefer the usage of numbers 1 through 9 because it is more convenient to recognize and use these numbers. Now, before we move on to strategies and how to play the game, it is important we know some basic terminologies associated with the game. First impression, when looking at this game, you will notice that the game is designed using rows and columns. By rows, I mean lines running from left to right and this is called the horizontal line. For children, we can simply say lines lying down, lying flat, while we've got the vertical lines, which are lines running from top to bottom, which is what I just drew on the screen. Now, clearly, we can see that the Sudoku is formed by using the horizontal line and the vertical lines. Now, we use these lines to form the Sudoku. And at the intersection, by intersection, I mean the meeting point of two lines. The meeting point of two lines, that's what I mean by intersection. At the intersection, we can clearly see that that's an intersection, that's an intersection, that's an intersection, and that's an intersection. Now, these 4 intersections has made it possible to create another box, which we will call a cell. This small box is called a cell. Now, away from that, for now, as you can clearly see, this Sudoku puzzle is made of larger boxes and smaller boxes. And now, I'm trying to draw lines around the larger boxes, and we'll count how many boxes we can see here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 boxes. Each of these boxes is called, the larger boxes is called a block. Although other persons refer to it as a box or a region, but in Sudoku terms, it is more acceptable when you refer to them as a block. Okay, now let's go back and now these grids can also be arranged in group of 3s horizontally. 1, 2, 3. Now, when we arrange the Sudoku puzzle in this way, we refer to this arrangement as a rank, spelled as R A N K, a rank. Now, here we've got the top rank, the middle rank, and the bottom rank. So a rank simply means arranging horizontally 3 blocks. Arranging 3 blocks horizontally, that's a rank when playing the Sudoku. We actually need these terminologies to be able to know specific cells and specific places, parts we may encounter problem. Maybe you want to describe, you want to tell someone to help you out, I need help, and the rest. Okay, now we can also arrange 3 groups of blocks vertically, and now we've got this, and this is called a stack. A stack spelled as S-T-A-C-K, like you're stacking something. So you can use that to remember. Now we've got the left stack here, the middle stack, and the right stack. Okay, one more thing. We earlier mentioned that each of the intersection, that is the meeting points of the vertical and horizontal line, forms what we regard to as a cell, or each of these rows and columns also have a cell. Looking at this grid, we've got 9 cells. So a 9 by 9 Sudoku puzzle has 9 rows, 9 columns, and 9 boxes. Now each of the boxes, or each of the boxes, or each of the block also has 9 cells. So remember that. So a 6 by 6 Sudoku puzzle will have 6 rows, 6 columns, 6 blocks, and 6 cells in each of the block. So remember that. Now we'll move on to the idea behind solving Sudoku. Now when solving Sudoku, the major idea behind solving Sudoku is this. You try to make sure that no single number is repeated on the same column. I'm just trying to draw a column on the screen. That is column. No single number is also repeated on the same row, and no single number is repeated on the same block. Now we've got 2 here, for instance. It cannot also appear any other place on this row, and it cannot appear any other place on this column. That is what I meant by what I stated earlier. Now clearly, if we are to place 2 on the second block here, where do we place 2? We said 2 cannot appear anywhere here, so we can draw this imaginary line to help us know that 2 cannot appear anywhere there. 2 cannot also appear anywhere here. So clearly, on this block, 2 can only appear anywhere. It can only appear here, or here, or here. Now let's see if we can figure out where 2 may likely appear. Now we know, looking at this point, there is a 2 on this column, meaning this option is out. So we are left with this option and this option. But for today's class, we will not be working on the 9 by 9 Sudoku puzzle. We want to start from the basic. Now, in this case, what number will appear in the empty cell here? Clearly, we've got 2, we've got 3, we've got 4. One number is missing here. This is a 4 by. This is a Sudoku puzzle that requires. This is a 1 by 1 Sudoku puzzle. Now, clearly, one number is missing, and this most definitely is 1. So now, our cells are completely filled in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's move on to something a bit complex. Okay. Now let's try this one. Now here we have a 4 by 4 Sudoku puzzle, and clearly we got 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. We've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and we've also got 4 boxes, or you can say 4 grid, but since it is Sudoku, we refer to them as blocks, 4 blocks. And in each of this block, we have 4 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now let's move down to business. How do we solve a Sudoku puzzle? Remember, no number must appear on, no 2 number no same number must appear anywhere on the same column, on the same row, or in the same box. Always remember that. Now, another strategy that will help us as we progress is whenever you're having a last remaining number to be filled into a box, then it is easy. Just count and get your number right and fill it in. But for now, let's move to the basic strategies and how to apply them. Now, on this box, we've got 1 here. Now, let's see where we can, which other place we can fill 1 on this box. Okay, now, this is 1 here, and we know that 1, since 1 is already here on this row, we cannot fill 1 anywhere here anymore. Instead, on this box, we have just one option left, and this is the option. So clearly, here, we will have our 1 filled in here. And that is it. Now, remember, the reason why we're putting 1 here is because we've got 1 already here. And notice, there's already 1 here, so 1 cannot appear anywhere here. So, we've got 1 filled in here. And taking a good look at this box, we've got 1 here, 2, and 4. So, 1 number is missed out. And definitely that number will sit in this cell. So, this grid, or this block, is fully filled in. Now, let's move over to our first block, this block. Now, where can we possibly fill 2 in? We've got 1 here already, so there's no point worrying about 1. Now, we're trying to see where we can fill in 2. And on this other block, we've got 2 here. So, drawing an imaginary line, you can use a pencil to do this, so you can wipe after you've done that. And we've got 2 here. So drawing an imaginary line, we are left with just one option, which is this box. So definitely our 2 will sit here. So we'll fill our 2 in here. That leaves us with one option, which is this point. So tell me, what number can we fill in here? I'm listening. Good, correct. That is 4. So look at this. We've got now 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the first one we filled. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's move on to our next box, this box. Let's see what we can do here. We've got 2 empty spaces here, or empty cells. So what are we to fill in? What do we have in this box? In this box we've got 2 and 4. So we have 1 and 3 left. So where do we fill in 1? And where do we fill in 3? Looking at this cell, we'll know if we are following the strategies I've been teaching. We know that clearly 1, we need to fill in 1 and 3. We know clearly 1 cannot sit here because we've got 1 already on this column. That leaves us with one option, which is this point. So we fill our 1 in here, and we have just one option left, and that is 3. Okay, now we can also fill our numbers in looking at our row here, our rows here. We've got 2, 3, 1. This point is empty. Remember, this point is now empty for our row, and it's also empty for our column. Now, what do we fill in to this cell? Now let's count. We've got 1, 2, 3. That leaves us with one option, 4. So 4 will be the number we need to fill into this cell. Now we've got one last cell left to go. And this last empty cell, we can go through this last empty cell vertically down. I mean, look at the column. We notice that it is empty, so this number is missing. Look at the row. It is missing for this row, and look at this box. It is also missing for this box. So now, let's see what number we'll be placing here. Now here we got 1, 4 and 3, meaning on this row we've got 2 missing on this row. Let's see if it's same for this column. 1, 3 and 4, meaning 2 is also missing on this column. Let's check the box. 1, 4 and 3. 2 is also missing for this in this box. That leaves us with 1 option and we fill it in 2. So now let's see. In this box we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, no repetition. Here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, no repetition. This box we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, no repetition. And in this box we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, no repetition. Okay, now let's see on this row 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, no repetition. Now same thing here, same thing here, and same thing here. Now you can check the rows and still notice the same thing, the column I mean to say. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see that there is no, you cannot see 3 here and 3 here. Of course, we made none of such mistake. That is how to solve the Sudoku puzzle. Thank you very much for listening. See you next time as we solve more complex Sudoku and move on to solve our 9x9 Sudoku puzzle. Stay safe and do have a nice day. Thank you.